Hey, Rock here. In this video, I wanted to talk about why you should always collect the phone number. So no matter if you're doing a paid community or a free community, a lead magnet, whatever thing you're doing, you're giving away, why you should always have a phone number in the opt-ins. So first up, why should you even care about this? And it's pretty simple. SMS gets a 98% open rate compared to like 20% on email. And just think about if you every marketing message you send out to your customers, every new offer or whatever you had, it got a 98% open rate, and what kind of difference this is gonna make on how many people actually respond to your marketing. And the company where I noticed this most from, it's called SendBlue. I opted in for something like a while ago, like just some free thing just to see how it works. And then they started calling me. They started sending me SMS messages, like everything. And like it's the reason why it's the only company that I opted in with that I like remember this like vividly. Like they were calling me, like it almost felt like annoying to a point. But like from their perspective, if they just handled me like any other website has their opt-in, like they message you once and then just emails, it makes such a big difference if you actually do the thing that's required, get the number and then actually use it. And on top of this, just another thing to really bring this home, I checked out how many emails I got from my college or from my school. I got in total I got 876 emails, and obviously because it's a school, whatever, they only send emails, they never send SMS, though they just don't bother with that. And out of the 800, I never opened 563 of them. So 64% of emails, 500 emails, I never even opened. So like maybe this just tells that I'm a best student, but it just shows again like if you hit someone with SMS and not just email, because most people will only do email marketing, it makes such a big difference in the end. And those two are just comparing one thing, so just SMS, and then another thing, once you get a phone number, you can actually start calling your leads. Like as soon as a lead comes in, like speedily, instantly calling them, and then having a sequence of actually calling them throughout the week, throughout the long term, to actually try and get them booked into an appointment. And now just because you got your phone number, you can now start to SMS and phone them, which are the two channels where people are actually gonna open it. Now obviously, yeah, you got multiple channels, you can do SMS, email, DMs, but like it's not that hard to think about like which of these channels people are actually gonna respond to, which of these channels people are actually gonna see. Because like emails, a lot of people don't even have their email notifications on, and DMs you have to go into an app, obviously get the notification, but like SMS and phone are like the thing that like most people are gonna have in check and are gonna have everything open. Now, why even bother having so many channels like phone, SMS, email, DM? You gotta think about how many touch points you're gonna have with a potential prospect, a potential client, for them to get booked into a call. Because let's say you only right here you just have like one, two, three emails or whatever, and then maybe you reach out to them on DMs. That's gonna be four ways for them to book in a call. But if they're not checking their email and they miss the DM, then you're just screwed. They never get your message, or like they never even get a chance to book in the call. But by increasing the number of times that you reach out to them, you try to get them to book into an appointment. Every single touch point you have, two here, two here, two here, it's just gonna increase the chance of them actually booking into a call. Like yes, you can go overboard with this. Like you don't wanna like call them 10 times a day forever, but like having many touch points with them is just gonna increase the amount of chances that they actually like engage with your marketing. Like people aren't always ready to engage with like some, like let's say your offer is fitness coaching. If they're just in their at their job, like they're not thinking about their fitness, the pain isn't present at the moment, they're gonna get the email, they're gonna see the email, but because the pain isn't that powerful right now, they're just gonna discredit it, and then there's no other way to book it in or like to get the offer again. But if you're doing it constantly, you're bound to catch a moment where their pain is present, and where they are actually gonna be prone to like getting the issue solved, and that's how you get people booked into an appointment. And then another thing which is just absolutely crazy is we pick up the phone 96 to 144 times a day. Okay, and like SMS, everybody has their SMS notifications on, and they're usually just gonna show up at the top. So like if you SMS your clients or you call them, it's gonna show at the top. And now for 76 to 144 times a day, that's how many times people are actually gonna see your message. Because like if you don't open your SMS, like okay, if you're super organized, you might just like delete it instantly, or like open it, respond, not respond. But like those notifications are gonna stay there, and each time a person picks up their phone, they're gonna see your message. And like even if they're not consciously reading it, right? Obviously, because like they have a 15 other notifications on there, like subconsciously they're gonna see that message, and like for 144 times a day they're gonna see you just because you send that SMS, and your company is just gonna stay top of mind compared to someone who's like not sending it, who's not reaching out to them, who just opted in and got the lead magnet, just got forgot in 5 minutes. Like going back to this where I talked about this company, like the only reason I remember them is because they were always top of mind, because they were always like doing everything in their power to actually like try and get into contact with me. Then a big belief about like this whole thing, why like call people twice a day for 7 days, why send them SMS, email, DMs them. A big misconception about that is gonna be it's gonna just sound like it's annoying, right? If you're like just trying to get into contact with someone, like you just seem like a spammer, right? But I want you to think about it like this. So let's say this is you and this is your friend. And this guy is, you can see he's in a bunch of pain. He's got like some back pain or whatever, and you're the only person, and you know about this, that has the cure for his exact thing. You're the only person. Now, who do you think is a better friend? So let's say this is you, would you just send him an email, and then if he sees it, good. If he doesn't or whatever, you just forget about it, and you see him in pain, you still know that he's in pain, but you decided, okay, I've sent him an email. If he wants the help, he'll get it from me because I already know that I notified him about it. Or would you like be calling them, messaging them, emailing them, whatever, just trying to get into contact them, letting them know like, bro, I got the perfect cure for you. Like, I'm good for it. You've got this pain. You just gotta do this one thing, and like, you're gonna have everything solved. Now, who do you think is a better friend? Like someone who's just gonna try to reach out to them once and then that's it, or is a better friend someone who's just gonna try to like put everything he can into solving that problem for him? Like it's obvious. Like obviously, like the important thing here, like the only thing that needs to happen right here is for your friend to get his problem solved. And the only way you're gonna do that is by actually like trying to reach out to them and like trying to get them to help you. Cause like these people, these people who, this is like your lead, the people who opt in, there's a reason why they opted in, and the reason is the pain. It's exactly the pain. So you know this is a person who has issues, and the only way to solve them is to give them the cure. So like don't think that it's annoying for you to reach out to them like countlessly to try and get in contact with them. They let you know that they have a pain, and now you're just the friend who's like trying super hard to actually solve that issue for them. And then the second thing I see people like being bothered by, like when they try to get the phone number, is thinking that it's gonna ruin your opt-in rate, right? Because if you have some, whatever the lead magnet is some old crappy page, but whatever. That is true that like if you add this into your opt-in, so like getting the phone number, your opt-ins are gonna decrease, because you know if you want to opt in for something and you see they need the phone number, you quickly get more skeptical, like are you actually gonna put the phone number, because you know like they're gonna start texting you or whatever. So like the opt-in rates are gonna fall down, and like let's say you get a 60% opt-in rate where you're just collecting email, and then you get a 40% opt-in rate, so like a 50% drop in opt-in rate just because you added the phone number. Now that might seem shit because like you get the amount of visitors you get, or that's it. But like I want to show you why getting the phone number is still going to be way more beneficial for you in the long term. So let's just look at these two examples. So the first one is going to be a standard opt-in with an email and then nothing else. So, and then for this example, we're going to get 100 visits. So like this is standard, this company, people come to the website, that's it. And because we have a 60% opt-in rate, we get 60 people to opt in. From those opt-ins, we're only gonna get 6 booked appointments. Why? Because the only like channel we had was emailing them and then like just giving them the lead magnet. So people like forgot about the company, used the free leg make, whatever happened, and they just forgot about us because like they forgot about the email, they forgot about the thing they opted in, the lead magnet, and they just forgot about the company. So we only have a 10% like from opt-ins to booked appointments, only 10% of people book in, mostly just because they forgot or they weren't presented with the solution time and time again for them to actually realize, okay, these people can actually solve my problems. And then also because we didn't have like SMS reminders, we didn't call our leads after they booked in to like confirm the call, we only have a 50% show up rate. So we only get 3 people to actually show up to the meeting. And like, let's say we close at 33%, we get 1 client, let's say it's a 3K ticket, 3K. And then on the other side, if we collect the phone number, what happens here? So let's look at this example. So again, we get the same amount of visitors because that's how many people came in. Now, because we're collecting the phone number, people are not gonna opt in as much. So instead of 60 opt-ins, we're now only getting 40 right now. But then we get 20 booked appointments. Why? Because once we collected the information, we got the phone number, we started calling the lead. We started sending SMS messages to the lead. We are still doing the emails. We're still like outreaching to them, but we are constantly trying to get in contact with them on a channel that's actually like present in their lives. They're actually opening their SMS, they're opening their like answering the calls because everyone answers the calls, and we can actually book people in and a 50% open, like a 50% ABR. So we get 20 people to book in, and then because we have the phone number, we can actually send them SMS reminders and call them to actually confirm the call. We get a 90% show up rate. So we get 18 of those people to show up, and then the close rate just doesn't change. It's still 33%. We get 6 clients compared to 1, and we get 18K, 3K ticket times 6, pretty simple math. So this is all fun and all, but like, what do you actually do with the phone number? Because right here I was talking about like, oh yeah, once they book in, you need to call them to confirm the call, then to show up, you need to call them, then you need to send SMS, whatever the whole thing is, right? Now, what are those actionable things that you need to watch out for, what you need to do with the phone number once you receive it? So I'll go into that next right here. So one thing is going to be SMS and the other thing is going to be calls. Those are the 2 things you can do with a phone number. So like SMS could also be just for iMessage if you just want to get better open rates, but whatever. The things you need to work on is your lead nurture. So like both of these. So what lead nurture is this is once you get the phone number, but the person isn't booked into a call yet. So they're just a lead, but they never booked in a call. So that's the stage where you can actually start sending them SMS messages and actually start calling your leads. Then at the next stage where you want to reach out to them on both of these platforms is booked calls. So once somebody books in a call, you want to send them SMSs like an actual good reminders, like trying to get them engaged, trying to get them to show up to the call, and they're going to see the SMS on their phone and actually like remember, okay, shit, I have this call to do. And the second thing is calling them to actually confirm the call. So like after a lead is booked in, 1 day before the call, just call them, let them know, yeah, we got this call at this time tomorrow, everything good, you want to reschedule? No, cool, show up, boom, that's it, remind people of the call. The third place where you can use the phone numbers, if you have it, is no-show. So if people still no-show to your calls, they don't show up, you can just call them, you can send them messages after they don't show up to try and get them rescheduled and booked into the call again. And then the fourth thing, you can re-engage them. So after a lead came in, they didn't book in a call, or they said they weren't interested at the time. 60 days, 90 days later, you can re-engage those leads. You can call them, SMS them again to try and tell them, look, do you have this problem now? Do you want to get this solved? Whatever. Have you given up on this? Try to solve it. And that's how you can like use the number on a later point. And then the fifth thing is database reactivation. So if you already have a bunch of numbers saved up for, you've been doing business for a couple of years or whatever, you have a bunch of phone numbers, you can send them SMS, you can send them the whole list an SMS telling them about some new offer you have, and then if they respond, you can instantly just call them. Why? Because you have the phone number. But if you try to do database reactivation only with emails, like the comparable numbers, like 20% open rates on email compared to 98 on SMS, it's just gonna make a huge difference of the actual contact info that you can use to try to get new clients from an old list. And then the next thing I wanted to show you was just SMS compared to iMessage and why like it makes a huge difference. And it comes down to making everything seem more natural. So people are on iPhones, they're usually used to people like friends sending them messages and the bubbles being blue. And then green ones, obviously you did still if you get a message from Android, but like most companies are gonna have green messages. And then also another thing, if you set up everything automated, so like automated messages, it's gonna have to say this at the top of the first message, like the company, and then it's gonna say reply, help, or stop, like just super robotic sounding, and that's instantly just gonna signify the messaging sequence of like something that's like automatically done and not like by a real person. But if you set up iMessage, you don't have to like have this thing inside here. It's like that's another big aspect of how you can actually make this, like even if you're not doing automatic things, like just SMS people are remind them about calls, and if they have an iPhone, great, it's gonna be a blue message and it's just gonna sound like it's gonna look like you actually care about the lead because you took the time of your day to actually pick up your phone and message them before you guys actually had the call. Now this stuff is great, but how do you then actually implement these things? Like how do you actually implement automated messages, iMessages, and then also like if you wanna automate people like a call center, like calling your leads, these are the tools you're gonna need. So like how do you actually automate like all of this, everything I talked about? You can do everything manually and get the same results, but it's gonna take time. Like messaging your leads, calling them twice a day, all of that is gonna take time, or you're gonna have to hire some people. But if you want to like automate the whole process, here's just a list of tools you can use. So first thing you can use is just GHL. It's called Go High Level, and it's essentially just a platform where you can automate like everything, like emails, SMS, like they have a bunch of other stuff, but like a part of it is just this. So you can use that for like automating the SMSs. And then on there, there's gonna be something that's called A2P approval, which you're gonna need to get and sort out. It's essentially just gonna be some legal thing you need to fill out in order to get approved to like send automated messages, because like it's some legal thing that you cannot send them like just because you want to. And then if you want to automate calls, it's a company called Follow Up AI, and you can use them to like automate, like they're gonna call your leads like twice a day instantly within 30 seconds, all of that. So that's how you get like this part set up. So this is just, if you want to get everything automated, this is everything you need. You need GHL, you need them, and that's how you automate your calls and like message sending. And just to hit on this so like one last time, like just imagine your business if your ABR, so like the appointment booking rate, the amount of people who book in for appointments, got to 50%, and 90 of those people who booked in actually showed up. And like all you have to do is like call your leads, get like an SMS lead nurture thing going, so like they actually are reminded about your company constantly. And then for show rate, again, SMS reminders that actually like sound natural, and then actually calling them before the meeting, so like they feel like, okay, this company actually cares about me, they care about the appointment, I'm gonna show up. And it all comes back down to leverage. It's like, if you want to make money, you have the scale, and if you want to make money, you want to find the actions that are gonna be like the most leveraged things that you can do in order to actually get that business solved, get to then like whatever number you want to get to, instead of focusing on the tasks that are just gonna push down right here and make it way harder and require way more input for you to actually start making money. But like obviously these things have to be done, but like finding the things that are leverageable, that's how you're gonna get results. So that's that. By the way, if you're like a creator or a coach sitting on an audience that gets views and followers but just somehow doesn't turn those into actual clients, there's a link below. It's not just some free masterclass or some webinar, it's just a simple breakdown of like how we install our stuff and like build your audience into an actual acquisition system. If that helps you, fine. If not, you can just ignore it and keep watching the free stuff. Anyway, if you got value from this video, hit the like button so YouTube knows it ain't all that bad around here, and just comment your thoughts, questions, or video ideas, because I actually read all of them. And yeah, subscribe if you want more help getting more and better clients.